Buying rum on auction sites. Have you ever wanted to buy a bottle of rum on an auction price and been put off? Well, yes, this was my experience. It took me a few attempts to really find my feet with it. So what I'd like to do is just share some of my experiences and give you a few insights. Firstly, why would you use them? I look for newly released but unavailable bottles. I look for sold out bottles from years ago, rare and old bottles, but where most people are interested in is bargains, and you can find some real bargains. It's also a great place to explore what rums are out there on the market. So a few successes. A bottle of Velier Tiger Shark, 30% cheaper than RRP. By using different auction sites on Whiskey Auction, Criterion was 25% cheaper than when it went on sale in rumauctioneer. But at the same time, where you have some successes, you also have some failures. So with the Criterion, I was bidding on too many bottles and I actually won both of them, which gave me a very hefty bill. Another one is where I didn't really know enough about the rum. I ended up paying over the RRP. This is just some of my findings, and what I'd suggest is that use some of my learnings so you don't make the same mistakes. Now let me take you on to rumauctioneer and show you a bit more about what it's about. There's lots of auction sites in the UK that you can use. Some of the ones that I use are rumauctioneer, Whiskey Hammer, Scottish Whiskey Auctions, Whiskey Auction. You can also get stuff on eBay, but a lot of this is from Europe, and Catawikis. So really, if you ask me, this is generally the place I go to for rum. What you should know about these sites, that when they close, here it says Monday the 11th of January, it says 7 o'clock, but people can continue bidding until there's low activity, so it normally closes between 8 or 9. You get site commission on top of the bid price, 10 to 15%. You pay shipping costs, which are around a tenner for the first bottle, and they reduce after that. You pay some insurance, and what you need to know is that you are buying a second-hand good, so make sure you check what you're doing. So for me, let's have a look at rumauctioneer. So if I was to start bidding, you go into there and then you start to look at something you're interested in. So let's have a look at Appleton's, and I start on the watch list and I look at everything that I'm interested in. So here, let's go with the 1999s. And on that basis, if I'm interested in buying one, I will watch all of them. Now, I'm not going to go through too many, but you can use the task on the left and pick anything from Haiti. Let's have a look. Well, obviously unclick that. Here's a load of Barwon, Trinidad. You're going to naturally get the Coronis, and so on and so on. Now, if I take you back to here, you then go onto your watch list. Now, like Blue Peter, I've saved a load before. And as you can see, if there's one of these, I watch all of them. And as you can go down, you start to get the list. And if we go here, you can see the Appletons come up, right? So a few pages of saved bottles. Now, what I do is, that's what I do when a day or two after the site is opened. And then I generally ignore it until the bidding day. If I do go in, I'll go in and I'll have a max price that I want to pay for anything. And if it's gone over that max price, I just get rid of it. So if you have a look here, let's say I had £1,000 limit on these Port Morants. These ones have gone over, so let's just unlike them, and then you can refresh them. And what you're trying to do is just whittle down to the last few bottles that you're really going to bid on the day. Okay, then it comes to around an hour beforehand, and you can start bidding. We're obviously a few days, but I'll show you what it's like to bid on them. I'm not going to bid on the Appletons because I have them and I don't necessarily want another one. But we can bid on, let's say, a Skeldon. Let's put in a max bid. So I don't really want to pay more than 150. Actually, I don't even want to pay that much. Let's say 130. Now, if I paid 130, then I'll pay 10%. Then I'll pay some insurance, some shipping fees. It probably works out at around 150, 160 pounds. So let's stick that in. There you go, the 10%, and confirm. And there we go. Now, if you have a look here, I've got my watch list and then I've got my bid list. And that will then track and tell me anything that's going on as you go around. But just remember, if you bid too early, then other people have the chance to really figure out how to get some more money. So I leave everything to the last minute and really just bid on the things that I'm really interested in. Now, once you go through, once the auction closes, you'll get an email. Let's have a look. Shopping cart. And in your shopping cart, it will tell you what you've actually won. You pay within 2 days, otherwise you start to pay a bit more commission, and then you wait for your delivery. Then you are one happy person when you get a pile of rum delivered to your door. These are all similar, so whether it's Whiskey Hammer, Scotch Whisky, Whiskey Auction, you may need to pay a £5 fee to join these sites to bid on them, but fundamentally they're all the same in terms of how they operate. So what are my key takeaways? Number one is know your exit price per bottle and don't go over it. Seriously, don't go over it. Number two is use the watch list and whittle down all the ones that you've been looking at over the period to the last few that you really want to bid on, and then really focus on getting those and winning those. Number three, bid at the end of the auction. 1 hour before the end, the last hour, that's when all the activity starts happening. Number four, don't get addicted. It can be quite fun. And number five is enjoy it. You shouldn't be scared of it. Loads of us use it. They've always delivered. They've always been sensible. So use this as another route to find those bottles and those bargains that you've been looking for. Once again, thank you very much for listening and watching. Goodbye.